We start with Ukraine and how the war is shifting. Russia is on the verge of scoring a major win. Ukraine is striking deep into Russian territory. Russia has introduced a new weapon, the boomerang drone. Ukraine wants America to give it cluster bombs. In the next few minutes, we'll break down this shift. We'll look at the new state-of-the-art weapons that are changing the game, starting with a battle for Bakhmut. The Russian forces are closing in. They're making gains every day, and Ukraine is under pressure to retreat. If Bakhmut falls, it will be a big prize for Russia, its first major win in more than 6 months. How is it happening? Russia has changed its strategy. Instead of sweeping offensives, it is now taking a more targeted approach. The mass firepower has been replaced by drones of all shapes and sizes. They're all being deployed, and they're being used for everything, for launching attacks, for reconnaissance, even as a tool for distraction. In Bakhmut, Russia launched a wave of drone attacks. Ukraine is on the defensive. It wants more powerful drones to hit back. Listen to this Ukrainian soldier on the front lines.
When you see drones, you have to hide and not shoot. There is very little chance that you will be able to hit them, so the chance that they hit you is very high. That's why you have to hide. And we, our flying drones, we can see who's hitting us, but we're not hitting them with artillery, while they hit our drones. And in 80% of the cases, it's losses in their unit because of our army. In 4 months, they've hit 4 drones.
He's right. Russia is using more drones, and they're proving to be quite an effective weapon. Ukraine too is using them, sending them deep inside Russian territory. Last week, in fact, a drone came close to Moscow. There was a flurry of drone strikes. Yesterday it happened again. A military tower was struck inside Russia. Ukraine's special forces took responsibility for this one. And how is Russia responding? With an all-new weapon being introduced to this war. It is called the boomerang drone. Take a look at this. This video was released by the Russian Defense Ministry. It shows the boomerang drone. It's small, it has 4 propellers, 4 small motors, a big battery, and a special magazine filled with explosives. These drones belong to a special category. They're called the kamikaze drones. They're basically suicide weapons. We've told you about this before. These drones are packed with explosives. They fly into enemy territory and then they explode. Usually 2 soldiers operate one drone. One of them controls it, the other navigates it. The Russian military video shows the operator wearing what look like VR glasses. VR, as you would know, is virtual reality. The operator is wearing VR glasses. Russia says it has deployed this technology, virtual reality, with the drone. How does it help? It is used to detect and destroy the target. So the first soldier operates the drone with a VR headset. The second one plays the role of an assistant. He tracks the drone's flight path and guides the operator. Now, the biggest advantage of this weapon is its speed. Russia says this drone can fly at 170 kilometers per hour. The second benefit is its battery life. It can stay in the air for 3 hours. And since it is so small, it can escape radars. So Russia's strategy is clear. It has made a tactical shift from relying on bigger weapons to deploying more drones. And the boomerang is just one example. We mentioned the Iranian drones. Tehran supplied Moscow with this drone, the Shahid 136. This too is a suicide drone. It loiters in the air and takes out targets on the ground. The drone has a range of 2,200 kilometers. It can carry a warhead weighing anywhere between 5 to 30 kilograms. Next we have the Orlan 10. Again, it's a small drone. It has a camera and a small bomb. This drone has computer chips too. They enable navigation. Russia has been weaponizing commercial drones as well. Those that are readily available in the market, Russian forces fit bombs on them. But these drones stay in the air for just 45 minutes. So that's a drawback. And that is Russia's drone arsenal. What about Ukraine? Ukraine too is sending drones, using drones, and it wants more of them. Yesterday, Ukraine carried out an operation deep inside Russian territory. It was done by Ukraine's special forces. The target was a military watchtower. It was inside Russia's Bryansk region. Now, it's not clear when this happened, but Ukraine has released a video, a Hollywood-style film, to claim the attack. Seems like video editors are the new soldiers in this war and propaganda is the tool of choice. But on the ground, the drones are changing the course of the conflict, and to counter Russia's new offensive, Ukraine has sent a new request to America. It wants cluster bombs. These are lethal explosives, cluster bombs, and the one that Kiev wants is called the Mk-20. It's a cluster bomb delivered by an aircraft. Once the bomb is released, it opens in the air and it releases several smaller bombs. They drop on the enemy like rain. How many bombs does one explosive pack? More than 240 according to one claim. 240 bombs in one cluster bomb. Think of it as an explosive, a group of darts. When they're thrown together, they travel in different directions. So they hit a wider area. Ukraine believes the Mk-20 can counter Russia's drone strikes. It sounds like an effective weapon, but it's also a dangerous one. Cluster bombs are banned by more than 120 countries. India is not one of them. Reports say India maintains a stockpile of these bombs. But why have these other countries banned cluster bombs? It's because they pose a risk to civilians. A cluster bomb is a controversial weapon. Will Ukraine be allowed to use it? More importantly, will the US give it to Ukraine? Reports say Washington is yet to decide. In the meantime, Ukraine is relying on another American weapon. It's called the Switchblade 300. This too is an American drone, and it can take out an entire building with a single hit. Then there are the Turkish drones, like the Bayraktar TB2. It's a small plane. It's like a small plane, this drone. It has many capabilities, like reconnaissance and targeted attacks. Ukraine has used these drones to strike deep inside Russia, and it plans to use more such weapons. This is how the war is changing. As stockpiles of conventional weapons shrink, drones will decide the fate of this war.